Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Peace Luv Biz with me, Steve Higgins, and Mary, who is way upgraded beyond, I think she's overclocked at this point, would be the right term.
Woohoo!
Me, I'm suffering with sickness, so yeah, I just fighting through it. But Mary, how are you doing?
I'm really, really, really great. And you know that because I finally got you to smile because I haven't been great. I got you to smile yesterday. I got you to smile today too. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah,
We're dude, we're grinding, man, but we're good.
yeah. No, and it's it's kind of a weird season. After tax season, people go ghost, and then they realize, oh wait, I do need you guys. So it's a little bit weird, and
Yeah,
there's a lot of moving parts, but
always.
it's all
And they
good.
realize like we're 6 months into the year and oh crap, we need to start. Yeah, we know. Oh crap.
Yeah,
So I mean, that's why we do what we do. We show up and we grind. We hustle and grind
yep,
for
absolutely.
sure.
Um, so today's topic is kind of a fun one. Um, we're going to do our best Aretha Franklin impression and talk about RESPECT. So
Yes. You did it way
respect.
better than I did this morning, by the way.
Yeah,
Mine was
I did a
horrible.
little warm up in the shower.
Yeah.
You know, I think I scared the cats. Um, but the idea of this is going to be, whether it's setting clear expectations, practicing transparency and trust. We're going to talk about how adopting the respect mindset leads to stronger relationships, fewer misunderstandings, and long-term business success. This works for both clients, vendors, any type of professional relationship you can use, and really you could translate it into any kind of walk of life. So the letter R,
Really, it starts with yourself.
yeah,
Like, let's start, like, because, I get into my little mode. So, reading this amazing book gave me a lot of insight. I've reread chapter one and two about three or four times. But you got to start with yourself. You got to be self-aware. You cannot do any of these letters, not one of the acronyms, without having it for yourself. So,
absolutely.
including that with the vendors and with your professional relationships and with your personal relationships, with all of it. But you need
Yeah.
yourself first. So,
Well, and letter R for this acronym is reliability. And the first point on there is show up when you say you will, and you have to be self-aware if you're one of
mhm.
those people doesn't follow through with that. So, um,
And Lord, I live with it. I forgot about that. That I'm like the most timely person ever. So when I'm late,
yeah,
there's a reason. Like if I'm late in delivering, if I'm late missing a deadline, there's a reason.
yeah.
Um,
I mean,
yeah,
it happened this morning. You know,
I did, and things happen.
yeah,
Um, that
not
we had
strong.
two different people. So I had one that didn't. I had two different people. You had two different people. So I had one with tech difficulties, and you had one because you had an emergency,
Yeah,
and then we both had the same one. It just we don't know what happened.
yeah. He's probably in his basement, which sounds weird, but the guy he operates his business out of his basement. So that's what I
And
mean
it's a
by that.
build
That's just
out, and yeah, it's
yeah,
not a freaky thing. We're not doing
yeah,
Jeffrey Dahmer stuff here.
yeah.
Although he was
No,
in an apartment, not a basement, but still.
and that make a great podcast. Um,
By the way, for the people that are watching us, Steven's Red Bulling and I'm coughing because literally this entire, 2 weeks I think we have going on, has been powered by caffeine.
yeah, I am struggling. I am not sleeping, I am sick, and so I just have to get through everything that I'm trying to do. But it's kind of nice because I know that people give me a lot of grace because of what I have done and what I continue to deliver. So I hope that
Hmm.
speaks to the level of what we do. So um,
Yeah,
when you
I think
think
it
about
does.
yeah, when you think about reliability, like, do you think about consistently delivering on promises and deadlines? How would you look to improve reliability on client deliverables, internal systems, things that you can control in the business that would improve the reliability?
I think in general, I mean, this definitely applies with our team. We have consistent meetings. If we can't make it, because we're kind of all over the world, literally. So we all have different weather, we all have different time zones. We communicate with that effectively. We move it to the next possible. Like my meetings with the accountants are every other Saturday. So if something happens, we move it to the very next Saturday. Um, Making sure all those lines of communication are open is really um, the best way to improve the reliability. Because if you're just being honest about it, if you're communicating
Hmm.
what is happening, you're gonna prevent a lot of problems. And I'm real big on communication professionally. Personally, I'm the worst. Well, not with you, but like in general, I am the worst communicator because I don't like talking. So, like, personally, I had a really big problem this week with, I guess, reliability because I'm a horrible communicator in personal relationships. I just don't like talking.
Yeah,
It's
and it's
it's a
funny because
horrible deficit.
people take silence as being a problem, but with you, silence is a good thing, which I can't agree more.
Yeah. Like personally in my personal relationships, when I'm quiet, I'm very happy. Stephen has been like the support person to explain this to my
Yeah.
personal relationships. But
Well,
it's great. I love it, but nobody else likes it because I'm not communicating. But I'm happy little
well,
campers. But I just got to
and
learn how to communicate better.
business wise, if you look at some of the systems that we've used for client deliverables, we'd look at like we've got Asana that's project based.
I
You've
think
got
that's been the best thing that the most recent best thing we've done is adding Asana while we do our internal thing.
yeah,
It's been the most, and we're not getting paid for this. It's not a shameless plug for Asana.
no,
It's been the most efficient and effective cost wise, and having a team of what, eight, nine
yeah,
people now, having nine people on it, it's been the most effective and efficient cost and reliability wise. And
yeah,
that's what you and I really look at, and especially me, drill down in all the overhead costs with software being our biggest overhead cost. Um, just that communication, that just honestly, the constant communication, the making sure that you have the internal systems at work. I think people really do get stuck with having too many softwares.
yeah,
Like there's
definitely.
just you don't. It's kind of like streaming. Like I didn't realize until I had recently moved how many streaming things I have. And I don't even freaking watch TV. I work 18 hours a day. That's the funniest part. I have like six streamings, whatever, and I watch TV
Yeah,
and I listen to music the entire time I work. So, you don't need to be software heavy, but you do need to be communication heavy.
yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Not micromanaging, but effective, efficient communication.
well, and communication lends itself to the next letter, which
Hmm.
is those of you playing Respect Bingo, it's E. Um, so for us, we're going to talk expectations, and when you're setting expectations with clients, um, team members, vendors, um, clear communication's massive because if you set
Yeah.
poor expectations when you're onboarding people, you're going to get poor results.
Yeah.
Um, so
We just
lending
talked to
that,
somebody recently. Who was it? I mean, you don't have to say the name, but didn't we just have a meeting this week with somebody new? And we were like, okay, so you need to understand, like we do with everybody, we are brutally honest.
yeah,
Oh, it was a
it was
returning client. It was the
no new
returning client, wasn't it?
new client. It
Yeah.
was the non-profit.
Oh, it was. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
who
Yeah.
I'm very excited for. They
Yeah.
texted me happy thoughts this morning after your meeting. So,
Awesome.
uh,
Yeah, I freaked her
yeah.
out. She was like, "You're the most un uninhibited accountant she's ever met."
Well, accounting doesn't have to be dull, but we've always said numbers tell a story. And the whole thing about Peace Luv Biz was it was about the people behind the business as much as anything else.
Right.
So you put the people into the accounting, and that's what you get. You get Mary and Steve. Like
Yeah.
it's white. Um, but
Yeah, I
they
did
understand.
personally kind of freak her. I didn't freak her out in a bad way. I just she did not expect the person I am is the way I am. So she was like, "But you're a number cruncher, basically."
Yeah,
And I'm like, "Yeah, but I have a whole different personality, like outside the numbers."
yeah. And
It was great.
the
But
the expectation setting, like people don't. I think people in our industry have generated the stigma so that when they do come to us and they have all these different expectations set, and it's like, oh my gosh, what is going on here?
yeah, yeah.
A lot of letting go is tough, but letting go of control of certain aspects can be tough, but it, it it's huge. And I
Yeah, I
read
mean, and
something.
yeah, go ahead, sorry.
I was just gonna say I read something the other day. It was like 5% increase in retention boost profits by between 25 and 95%. Obviously, that's a wild swing, but even just a
But not
25%.
really. It's really not because you're not having to go and search. You're not having to spend the time onboarding. Like when we onboard people, like between the two of us, our billable rate is like $300. So we always book for 30 minutes. We don't book anything right after. So if we need an entire hour, we have one. So we potentially, every time we onboard a new client, that's $300. If we lose somebody to then onboard somebody, we've lost $300
Yeah,
right out the gate. So it's really not that big of a swing because and then there's the training and the cleanup and the 20 different credit cards that people are using to navigate their $300,000 revenue a year business. I mean, it just, you know what I mean? It's all those things add up. So I can see that. Absolutely.
yeah. Um, oh, yeah, we get to talk about the nonprofit a little bit more on the next one.
Yeah.
Really excited for this. But the next letter, S, is for support. And what's cool about this is if you think about the concept that you're a resource, not just a vendor to these clients, they'll see you in a completely different light. And,
Yeah.
you can look at what offer you provide, what value you provide beyond what's being billed and stuff like that. And, you know, these people are pretty green in terms of what they want to be. They know what they want to do, but it's like, I have no idea what I want to do to execute or what will be involved.
Absolutely. But also, I'm going to include here because this is something that we consistently see. And I just realized it while we were talking about it. they they're everything you just said, but they also think that they have to know. You don't have to know. That's why you have a Mary and a Stephen, because we know. And that's
And
where that whole transactional versus our us being a holistic approach and having a relationship really differs everything. Because like it's if you want a one night stand, go to H&R Block. If you want to have a relationship, come to Mary and Stephen. Like I don't know how else to say that.
telling you, 50 Shades of Purple will be written one day.
I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna work on that. I think that
Please.
should just be my fun project. Like when I'm done working for the day, that's gonna be my fun book I write. But
Oh
really,
gosh.
I mean, if you want a one night stand, go have a one night stand with your accountant. But we're not one night stand people.
Yeah. No, and the
We're
question.
relationship people.
Well, what I ended up doing was I went and created a business plan for these people. I went and generated an AI logo based on an image of theirs, and
Yeah, it was
they
really
were just
impressive
doing it.
yesterday.
Yeah, I was kind of on it yesterday, considering how sick I've been. I was like, all right, this is the one thing I'm excited to be doing. I'm gonna just
Well,
nail the
because literally the
perfect.
only thing you're missing is the goats and chickens in your house. You have all the other animals, so
Yeah, I
you
do.
know, yeah. Um,
But I do,
and
I
I
do
knew you were
genuinely.
really sick because when I saw that email, I was like, oh, he's trying to work. Like I know that because you and
Yeah.
I are the same. When we don't feel well, we try to do anything to do some work. But it was
Yeah.
great. It was awesome. And but that's what we do. We look at it and we go, "Oh my god, this is awesome." Okay, and we just start running and running and running and running with the ideas.
Well, and I genuinely love these people. Like, I've known these people a few years now. They're good people. They get screwed over quite a bit. They're trying to do some cool stuff. And I was just like, what can I do to help them on the start of this new journey? So I was like, all right,
Yeah.
let's go do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to go and redo a lot of stuff, but at least they've got a platform, and it's not my place to be offended if they use my stuff. I'm just trying to give them ideas and get the juice.
Absolutely.
So that's how we go beyond with the relationship building.
Yeah.
Um, cool.
Definitely. All I could think when after I said that was, and this ages me, and it's not PC anymore, and I just don't give a fuck. Is you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. That's all I could think when when I said that. But you can. H&R Block is structured to be a one stop. One stop. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Bye. Next. It's not to have dinner on Friday nights. It's not to have a relationship. We are here for the relationship. And that's
Well,
totally
H
different.
H&R Block, they just put the numbers in that you provide. What did you do last night that saved somebody what? 20 grand? 8 grand in a current bill, 12 grand
Yeah.
on
20
this.
grand. Yeah. And
Yeah.
that was literally the 8 grand reduction was literally in a 30-minute meeting scanning that return going, something ain't right. I know something's not right. And uh, I went through and now I'm like, damn, I really underquoted them for the amount of hours I put into it, but it is what it is. But we'll have them forever now. But
Yeah.
like looking at it, I was like, how did this accountant miss all this crap? Like out the gate, this accountant didn't put in depreciation for the building they bought. The building they rent space. That's their business. He didn't put depreciation for a building. How are you an accountant? Like how please
So
take it away.
speaking of our next letter is professionalism. So like how well and we're really good about this because yeah, there's a lot of I'm gonna say it, there's a lot of bad accounting out there, but we have to have these difficult conversations with professionalism and grace and give these
Mhm.
people peace of mind where it's like, look, this is what's happened. Let us take a look. We'll see what we can do to figure it out. But we also provide the human element where it's like, look, you may have been fucked before, but and yeah, it's going to take cash to fix it. It's going to cost you to fix it, but we're also going to take that into account and take care of you.
Hmm.
Like what?
And as you always say, like we do it to a fault. Is that like once they get used to it, they it's like they've had a bad relationship over and over and over. And I'm guilty of this personally. I get a good one, and I literally don't know how to act. I'm like, oh, and I'm an idiot about it. That's our clients. Because if it wasn't for bad accountants, we wouldn't have the client base we have. They have bad accountants for years and years and years, and they get us, and they're like, "But what? Um, and then that's where you and I go, hey, listen, let's have a little, like, we do speak with them with grace, but we, kind of coach them and, hey, listen, let's have some realistic expectations. Not everything happens overnight. We do rely on you to do certain things. You do need to follow up on stuff. It's not in the same way. You do not need to email me and check on me. I'm emailing you. Even reminders, like I copy myself in every single reminder I send out, because every single day I go through, and anybody that's at 6 days that hasn't responded, again, my OCD, I send out an email and it literally says gentle reminder on this, and off it goes. Um, and those are difficult conversations to have with people of, hey, I now need you to show up. That that can be difficult because people are just not used to the accountant being there, and now the accountant is there.
Um, it's it's a lot for people. They don't.
Hmm.
They're not. I said it was a shock to the system. They don't. A lot of people don't res, res, respond well to the level of good service because they're so used to being treated like crap.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and ironically, the next letter is E for empathy because this is all going far too well. And
It really
um,
is.
so
And you
it's
know what?
great.
This whole thing, I realize I'm the one that said, let's do respect. And then you came up with everything else. So all the credit goes to you. I just come up with the one bleep idea, bloop, one little speck idea, and then it just boom. But all I can think is, God, I'm really good at this professionally, and I really suck at this personally. That's the only thing that I can think right now. And I know you understand because you know my entire life.
That was the conversation we were going to have after we finished
Oh,
recording.
okay. Got it. Yeah.
uh, you're better than
Yeah.
you give yourself credit for, which is a
I mean,
continuous
not with
topic.
my relationship with you.
No,
We're
I know
good.
that. It's a
It's
yeah,
my relationship with my significant partner. So
yeah.
I really suck as a significant other. I'll say that.
You're too
As
busy
far as
working.
respect goes, as far as this acronym
The
goes,
the respect
I
acronym.
suck. So empathy.
So empathy.
This is why I have empathy for our clients, because I really need empathy for me and my personal relationships.
Maybe that's part of the problem is you give so much to the clients that you don't have room for it.
Oh, that
Oh
could
my
be
God,
it.
I should be charging you whatever.
We should have one of our 6 mental health therapists on this episode, is what we should have. We should have a follow up podcast to this one and have one of our mental health therapists or all of them weigh in.
Oh my gosh, we could do a podcast roundtable with everybody.
We really could.
Um, empathy. We were talking about the understanding and
Yeah, like
clients.
this
That's
morning,
the word.
our new client, she felt so bad, and I wait 15 minutes and then I close the call, and they text me at like 11:30 or at the half hour, And they were like, I'm sorry, we're having technical difficulties, and, freaking out. And then I got on and they were like, she was apologizing. I'm like, it's fine. Like, things happen. It's all good. Nobody dies. Nobody
Yeah.
dies. So,
Well, you know, there's a lot of everybody's different, everybody responds differently. And the question is, do you take time to understand the unique challenges that each person that you work with faces? And
yeah.
if you're able to do that, whether it's client, vendor, teammate, whatever it is, like you can then take it to the next level and you're helping them level up by you being leveled up yourself. And that sounds really stupid, but I
It
understood it in
really
my brain.
doesn't. I feel like, God, this podcast is just speaking to me all over the place. That's all I got. I'm like, I didn't need day 4 of a life lesson, but thanks. Because that's all I've had this week is like self improvement, self improvement, self awareness, self improvement. Here's another one. And I caused it. I'm the
Well,
one that promoted it.
one of my favorite pillars of my BNI groups is lifelong learning, and that's
Yeah.
self-improvement.
There you go. There you go. For sure.
Okay, we're almost there. We've done 5 out of the 7.
We're
Next up,
cruising along today.
well, it's easy to talk about when there's so many issues, and
Yeah.
it's easy to talk about. Well, C, we've already touched on a bunch of times, and it's communication. Um,
Mhm.
Clear, concise communication just alleviates so much pressure. It's like
Yeah.
it is exactly like a pressure valve. The more you communicate, the more you let in that valve work, and the less pressure there is. Um,
And it just occurred to me. So, yeah, okay. Oh, God. I hate when I have to say it right. Which,
well,
after
which
10 years, I mean, this is just part of life, right? So, yeah, you're right. Because, like, I'm emailing clients and crickets and crickets and crickets. And I'm like, just tell me what's happening. Like, that's it. Just, hey, we're super busy this week, right? I am really good about it work wise, business wise. I'm fabulous about it. Literally yesterday, personal relationship, it was, well, then just tell me your point of view. And my response, well, it's not efficient because it's already done. Like, the person's asking me to communicate. And I'm like, no, it's not efficient. Like, it's a business. Yeah. Um,
honestly, I was thinking about that how people go ghost because I think a lot of people feel like you're going to be disappointed by the information, and when the truth is, we just want to hear what the situation is.
right. And that was my partner wanted to hear the information. And I'm going, yeah, God, I really suck at personal relationships
It's okay. You're a
that
master
aren't
accountant.
Steven, that are not Steven. I want to put that in there because Steven's the only good relationship,
I
inconsistent
love
and
how
longest one.
I'm the exception to the rule, and it's weird,
Yeah.
but I accept that it's true.
Yeah. And I
um,
shamelessly will say thank you, Rachel, for sacrificing Steven Monday through Friday.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Um, Anything else you want to talk about with communication, since you know,
Yeah, no, it just has to happen. And just
well,
say what you got to say. And I mean, have the understanding, like empathy, the letter before, have the empathy for the other person's point of view, because that's something I've been bad at. Um, but, have the communication, say what you got to say respectfully, and taking under advisement the other way the person feels, or the other way what's happening for them, like on a professional level. Our clients receiving gentle reminder emails, listen, hey, you may have things going on, there's no way for me to know that unless you say it. Understand from our side of our point of view that we're going, hey, we, like, this week I did my reminders, And it was, hey, we need to know what's happening because we've got one person that literally has like 6 7 tax returns for me to do. It's been crickets for 3 weeks. Oh, I've got a game plan out. Like, we have a company that we run. We have 40 50 recurring clients. I still have X amount of tax returns to finish. I have people slowly coming in. So we have a whole game plan to build out on top of all of our projects. So it's like that has to be, that communication has to exist for us to build the game plan out on both ends. So they may need more time. That's okay. If you need 3 more weeks, great. Just tell us we need 3 more weeks.
Well, and
No
I
problem.
think if you can demonstrate more empathy while you're communicating that, if they are going ghost, if you say, look, I know that it's stressful, I
Mhm.
know that a lot of moving parts, we're here when you're ready, here's what we need from you, whatever it is, but the clear, empathetic style of communication helps, especially around sensitive financial matters. Like,
And you're going right into your next letter by saying that.
oh yeah, which is transparency.
Oh my God, I got something. That's a
Yeah,
first. I
I wasn't
never,
even there.
yeah. And I'm not that smart. I'm only smart in what I do, not in anything else.
Again, lack of credit given where it should be. It's a recurring theme with us, isn't it?
It is.
So yeah,
Yeah.
the T is transparency, and that's being honest about what's working, what's not working. How can you address problems early
Yeah.
before they become real problems? Um, so how? And again, the question really is, how do you foster the openness and the trust in each stage of the relationship between
hmm
client, vendor, whatever? But we've already talked about it, and a lot of it is communication and transparency. So
It is. And I realize, I just keep realizing how much I'm two totally different personalities, like in work and in personal, because I'm like, just be straight out the gate about how you are, just say it. And then personally, I just am always quiet because just give me baked chicken and I'm a happy little camper. That's all I really need in life personally. But I mean, yeah, you foster it. We do that. We foster that because when we meet with people, we know right out the gate if the personalities match. You go out to dinner on a blind date or a first date, you know if there's a connection. It may not be a forever thing, but you know at least that there's that connection. You know it. We knew it.
yeah,
You and I knew it. And Shane knew
Wh-
it. Like the three of us knew it, and we are still together as our little trio.
when you were talking, then it reminded me about the expectation settings because the transparency that we give people when we onboard them and we say, look, we could be real assholes when we tell you what professionally is going on, but it's nothing that can't be fixed. Nobody dies, and you have to know that it's coming from a place of love and wanting to see you succeed. Um, this is Peace Love Biz's version of respect, like reliability, expectations, support, professionalism, empathy, communication, and transparency. It is how we do business because that's how you operate with integrity, and it's how you operate an effective team and business. This is just a good business operating model, I think, like from a personality standpoint. So I guess that wraps us up for this episode. It wasn't a quick episode, but it was a big one. I don't think so. Well, if anybody wants to come and pick our brains, we have consultations available. So go to peacelovbiz.com where you'll see this latest episode. And until next time, have a peaceful week, everybody.